This is the review of the Minimum Squared wallet. I do apologise straight away for the dodgy camera work. I'll be honest with you, I don't do reviews, I never have. The only reason I am is because this particular wallet is an awful lot of money. And I'm in that privileged position where I can actually say, well, I actually own two. Now, this isn't because I'm ridiculously wealthy. I'm not even by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a carpenter, so I earn an average wage. This one on the right is actually for my brother. But I'm sure, like an awful lot of people who've watched reviews like this, the downside with a lot of them is they're not real in the respect that you haven't seen what they look like after some time. So I suppose this review really just shows what they look like when they're brand new to after a while. And I think I've had this one for about 11 months to a year now, which is my one. I put an average amount of stuff in it. We'll go through that, but it's really how it ages and what it looks like when you first get it. I'll be honest with you, this is just the box because nobody really cares about the box. This is actually what comes in the box, and what's nice is it was also a lot more decorated, wrapped up when it first came, but I did have a look at it. The nice thing about it is I spoke to Sinella via email, because if you look at their website they are all snowed under heavily with orders, but I told them this was for my brother, and I just thought it was a nice touch, is that they wrote the card for my brother so that I can send this to them with this in it, which obviously says "Dear Cameron, happy anniversary," etc, etc, etc. So I thought that was a really nice touch. It was really nicely wrapped until I got my hands on it. Some other stuff which no one really cares about, but this is how it was wrapped, and more importantly, this is how it comes. So this is the brand spanking new one. Again, I do apologise for the dodgy camera work. I'm holding the camera because I don't have a stand. And this is what my one looks like now. Now, obviously I wrap mine a little bit differently. I personally prefer it flapped in. This, after a while, this all softens up quite a lot, and that just flaps about a bit and it gets a little bit annoying. As we all know from other previous videos, it's the same as it says up to 2, up to 3, and vice versa. So we've seen all the videos like that. In my particular case with my wallet, I carry a driver's license, 2 bank cards in the front, 2 in the rear, and then I have a blood card in the back, and then 2 business cards, and then invariably just a few banknotes. As I said, I always carry it like this, and that is its general thickness, which is probably, I don't know, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, something like that, or about 18mm, something like that if you're in England or Europe. So the reason why I'm going to show the video is really how it changes over time. Now, I'll be honest with you, there was a couple of things. So I'll be honest, after about 11 months, the elastic has started to fade a bit. It is nowhere near as much tension as possible as it was before, and I'll be honest, it wasn't until the new one came that I noticed. The other difference, significant difference as well, is when you first get this, you notice that the leather is absurdly tough. It is almost thick. It almost feels like card. It is that hard. But over time, again, I didn't notice this until the new one came, it softens up significantly. But one of my main concerns that I had with the wallet was I wondered if over time these marks here, whether they would tear. Now bear in mind, as I said, I'm a carpenter, that's what I do for a job, and I'm quite heavy with my stuff. You can see there is literally no tearing whatsoever. All of the stitches, as I said, this is after about 11 months worth of use, and there is absolutely no damage at all. I will be honest, with regards to leather goods, so like I actually have a saddleback leather as well wallet, which I mean I haven't used since I've had this wallet. I do look after them. Probably every 4 or 5 months I might just put some black polish over it, just as a just to give it something. I don't personally think it really makes an awful lot of difference. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to react the same as what normal cow leather reacts with this, which I think this is goat or something like that. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. The amazing thing about this particular wallet is the ability to be able to carry cards, and I think if you have a look at the new one, it says so obviously 5 in the front and 5 in the back, and that genuinely is accurate. Now I don't tend to carry as many notes as that, which there's about 5 in there I think, and also I don't tend to carry loads of coffee cup things. I go to McDonald's an awful lot for lattes. As I said, and in the back I've got 3 business cards, so you don't really need to carry as much. I would say 2 of those are credit cards. Again, you don't need to carry 2 credit cards. Another one is a joint account, and then another one is just my own personal account. So it's an awful lot of cards. I also carry a CSCS card, which enables me to work on a construction site in the UK. It's part of a scheme. Again, you don't need to carry any of that stuff, but it does carry it exceptionally well. What I will say is that over time it does loosen up actually very nicely. As I said to you before, my preference is to fold it in. Personally, I think it's a little annoying having it flapping about. I know on previous videos, I think Steve Montelli or whatever his name is, they talks about snapping it, the elastic back again. I don't personally do that, mainly because again it's about what, €165, something like that. I don't personally see why you need to rip something open like that and potentially unnecessarily damage a wallet like that. As I said, over this amount of time I've never had an issue with it. One of the things which is nice in the UK, we have contactless cards, and in the back this particular card is contactless, so just pushing it down against the contact card reader, it reads the card fine. And I like things like that. If you work in London with Oyster cards and things like that, you can have the card in the wallet and it reads it through. But I think one of the big hang-ups that an awful lot of people have is the price. And it's no doubt probably why an awful lot of people are watching a video like this. Why would you want to spend €165, or it's about 140 quid or something like that on that? Now don't get me wrong, as I said, I am a carpenter. I earn an average wage. I'm good at my job, and I do well out of it, but I'm not a millionaire. Why would you spend this kind of money? And for me, the way I was raised is a price is divided by how often you use it versus the joy that you receive when using it. And for me, I carry my wallet every single day. I use it every single day. And for me personally, I don't make a thing of how expensive a wallet is. In my opinion, if you don't know what it is, you don't deserve to know the price of it. And I like that feeling of knowing that you have something which is really nice. It's got a Red Dot award. It's a good quality product, which is handmade, which is rare, in the world today, to have something like that. and to pay, in reality, what, 150 quid, which, to be fair, don't go out drinking for 2 or 3 weekends, which I mean I don't anyway, but you'll smash that in 2 or 3 weekends easily. Or don't go crazy on your next holiday. At the end of the day, if it's something that you can justify, finding that kind of money is not difficult. And for me, that's the trade-off. I don't like carrying things in my pocket, but I do like nice things, and therefore I buy good quality. Would I buy it again? Well, by virtue of the fact I've bought a second one as a gift from my brother, yes, I would. I think the ability to carry that many cards that simply, if you're looking at showing off and looking, trying to make a big statement, this is not what that wallet's all about. But you will find maybe once a year one person might spot it and know what it is, and that is a nice feeling. And for me, that is why I can justify it. Over the year, not a single thread has popped. Other than the elastic has gone a little bit, but even then, Sanella, when I mentioned it to her, she sent over 2 new bands to me when I bought this wallet. I couldn't complain. I was talking to her about something else because I wanted to get my dad one, and she was made more than enough effort to try and accommodate the taste of my father. I couldn't fault the company. For a company that personally addresses you as an individual customer, that you're actually talking to her as opposed to some person who gets paid minimum wage and doesn't care about you, that to me means an awful lot, and I think it does for a lot of people. For me, I can justify it because I use it every single day, and quality matters an awful lot to me. But yeah, it's an exceptionally good wallet. I think it's worth every penny, and I don't see why in the next 10 or 15 years it to carry on as it is. I had some serious concerns about its thickness of leather when I first got it, and some of the stress points, but as you can clearly see, there is just absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. If anything, it's better than when I first bought it, and as I said, I have absolutely no doubt that my brother will think so. I mean, you can see it's more evident, with the red stitches. They are absolutely perfect, and I have no doubt in a year's time my brother's will look just as good as what mine does now. So I hope this helps. I appreciate it's not the best recording in the world. I'm not under any illusion that it's brilliant, but I hope this gives you an idea of how they do age, and really as a way of how you can not justify but possibly understand why spending that kind of money on a wallet is not quite as unreasonable or as far-fetched as what you might think. Thank you, and I hope that helps, and perhaps see you again soon.